Good morning. Today is Thursday, 16th of May. Welcome to this morning's CSS meeting. We are called higher this morning, so the FTSE 100's heading up just under 0.5%, looking for about a 30p rise. We have got similar moves on the CAC and the DAX. This follows overnight fairly bullish markets in Asia. So we saw Hang Seng up about 1.6%. Nikkei was up nearly 1%. S&P ASX Australia was up 1.5%. And we had firm movements in the US as well. This was following on from the slightly cooler CPI number yesterday, print at 130. So Dow Jones closed up about 1%, S&P 500 up about 1.2%, and NASDAQ closed up 1.4%. So these are all kind of flirting with the all-time high levels, if not already at them, then just below intradays. The pound is up again against the US dollar, 1.27. US dollar generally a little bit weaker against all currencies today. Gold is heading up again, so we're up to $2,388 per ounce. Brent crude up a tad, $83.08. And we've got more CPI data from Italy a little bit later on. We'll have one of the Bank of England MPC members speaking. That is Megan Green. And then we've got things like US housing starts, US export and import prices. You got the initial US jobless claims, US industrial production. So a fair amount of data still to come from the US. That's all going to be round about, well, some of it will be 1:30 our time, and then there's a little bit more that will be coming after the market close. So economic news, Japan's economy suffered a worse than expected contraction in the first quarter, official data showed. Gross domestic product in the world's number 4 economy shrank by 0.5% against market expectations of a drop of only 0.3. So it was worse than expected. Exports dived by about 5% after growing 2.8% in the previous quarter, while imports fell 3.4% compared with the first quarter of 2023. Australia's unemployment rate rose by more than expected in April. According to the statistics, their jobless rate was 4.1, rising from an upwardly revised figure in March of 3.9. The consensus had been 3.9 as opposed to the 4.1 we've got. The presidents of China and Russia have met. Putin was meeting Xi as they seek sort of further support from each other. And the EU has backed sanctions on 4 media outlets accused of pushing Russian propaganda. And we had Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico fought for his life in hospital after being shot multiple times in what the government called a political assault or assassination attempt. So in terms of company news, Cisco said third quarter financial results were at the top end and above guidance. And then in London, we have a reasonably busy day. Once my system refreshes. So Okay, so today we have Auction Technology, Bank of Cyprus, BT Group, Convatec, EasyJet, Future, Granger, Helios Towers, Nexus Infrastructure, Premier Foods, Restore PLC, Sage, Tritax, Tullow, Timon, United Utilities, Vanquish Banking Group, and Vistry. And then it quietens down tomorrow, just a couple of companies reporting Land and XL Media. So let's start off with BT. Okay, pre-tax profit was approximately 1.19 billion in the full year. That was down 31% from a year ago. Revenue was 20.8 billion. That's actually up, slightly up 1%. Annual dividend is 8p. That's up as well, up 4% from the 7.7. Net debt is up slightly, 19.48 billion, up from 18.86. And the guidance for 25, adjusted revenue flat to up 1% is what they're saying. And EasyJet. Okay, airline EasyJet said revenue came in at 3.27 billion for the 6th month ended March the 31st. So that's quite a bit up from the 2.69 billion a year earlier. Pre-tax loss narrowed from 347 million versus 415. And the CEO said, we're now absolutely focused on another record summer, which is expected to deliver strong full 24 earnings growth, and we are on track to achieve our medium-term targets. But separately, EasyJet said that he will step down as chief executive and leave the company in 2025, having only served 7 years as CEO. At that time, Kenton Jarvis will succeed Johan to become the new CEO, and he joined in February 2021 as the CFO. Premier Foods reported revenue in the 52 weeks ending March 30th that jumped 13% annually to 1.14 billion. Pre-tax profit rose 35%. We have results for Future. So Future revenue is 391 million. It's actually down about 3% from 404 million a year ago. Pre-tax profit is 46.6 million. That's down about 30%. They've declared a first half dividend, which is unchanged, and they expect to deliver revenue growth in the second half and adjusted operating margin of around about 28%. So let's take a look at United Utilities. So pre-tax profit is 170 million, down from 256. Revenue is 1.95 billion, up from 1.8. Earnings per share 18.6, down from 30. They've declared a final dividend of 33.19. That's up from the 30.34. Forecast 10% revenue growth for 2025. Sage pre-tax profits were 203 million. That's up 27% from 139. Revenue was 1.15 billion. The first half dividend was 6.95p. That's up 6%. And the second half revenue growth is in line with expectations. And Convatec guided organic growth of 5 to 7%, single digit growth in the divisions, and the 24 year-to-date revenue is up about 5.2%. They are confident on delivering the full year guidance. And I think there's a few other ones, but I mean, they're the main ones I'm going to cover in this morning's meetings. In terms of upgrades and downgrades, so we have an upgrade to Capricorn Energy to 175 for 150. It's a hold. We have Jefferies raising Energen to 1350 from 1250. That's a buy. Barclays have raised Experian following their blowout results yesterday from 36 to 42. Goldman's have raised Imperial Brands following their results as well yesterday from £23 to 23.50. That's a buy. They've also been raised by RBC, although that was yesterday, to £20. And no more news on the improved offer from IDS. That's Royal Mail. We've got a raise for Jupiter Fund to 77p from 75, but it is a sell still. And Barclays have raised Travis Perkins to overweight from equal weight. And we've got DZ Bank have raised fair value to Vodafone to 80p from 70p, although they're remaining a hold on that one. And that is pretty much it. We do have a trading update from Watches of Switzerland. So they said full year 24 financial performance is in line with guidance. The Q4 revenue is 380 million, up 3%. Revenue in the US is up 14%. Full year 24 revenue 1.54 billion, flat. And the guidance is 0.2 to 0.6 percentage point expansion in EBIT margin. And that is everything for today. So thanks very much for listening. Tune in next time. And as always, if there's anything that you want to find out about, you know where we are. Give us a call or ping us an email. Speak to you soon.